All right, 1 2 1 2 1 2. I heard we are live. Let's get that music down. All right, here we go. Lo-fi's going. It's time for Timmy time. No, Timmy time is when I DJ. I think. Yeah, that's. This is time to operate. All right. Yeah, I do have these alter egos basically, right? So when it's AR operator time, it's time to operate. I have normally I have glasses. What happened to my glasses? I can't see. No, it's a joke. It's just they're nice glasses, just for blue light. And then I say, it's time to operate. And then when it's DJ time, it's Timmy time. And then when it's being a father time, is Daddy cool. Yeah, cool. Anyways, as you can hear, I'm full of allergies, but I'm super excited about Master Notion AI, as you can see on the screen right now. A practical guide to Notion AI for business. I love Notion. I've loved Notion for so long. Anyways, this is the session. It started now. Hopefully, you can hear me, you can see me. Let's see that in the chat. Also, let us know where you're connecting from, right? Last time we had a bunch of people from a bunch of places. Yeah, you can hear me. It's a bit full, but it's fine. I love doing these things, so I don't cancel them. I don't reschedule them. So let us know where you're connecting from, who you are. Are you using Notion, or are you here just to see what Notion is? All right, we want to hear all about that. And yeah, welcome everyone. So let's start this session. Whoa! All right, awesome, cool. Hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. Yeah, just double checking again. Let me know if everything's good. Chat sometimes a bit late, so if I don't see it yet, I do apologize, but I'll see you in a minute. Cool. So what we're doing today is really the idea is very it's something that I really love. Why? Because because Notion. I've been a fan of Notion since COVID. When was COVID? COVID was, what was it, February? I forgot which year, 2020? 2020? All right, 2020. All right, February 2020. Right. So what, it's been over 5 years, right? So 5 years and about, 6 months? Maybe 8 months? Yeah, 5 years and 8 months ago or so ago, right? I've been a massive fan of Notion. So I remember it was COVID and we were stuck in the house, right? And then, everybody said you can't leave and there's this deadly virus, and they messed up the whole country, the countries and the world, the economy. Let's not talk about that. We're not here for politics. And then when we got stuck in the house, I saw this course of what was it? Key High. This guy was called Key High, KHE High HI, I think. Super cool guy. And he was doing this course, and this course was about, build your second brain on Notion. And I was like, oh, and then I saw Notion. I had heard about Notion. It was a note-taking application. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Let me just get that course. I got that course. It was about 2 weeks that I really got into that course. I didn't sleep for many nights. I was just like, wow, what is this Notion thing and stuff like that. I was doing the course and I built a lot of stuff on Notion. And I was like, yeah, this is really cool. I remember that moment, right? It was really cool. And then, yeah, about 5 years later, luckily I can run my company on Notion. So all the companies I worked for, or even if I was a CEO, we didn't do Notion. We had some different platforms because I came after. And then when I started AI Operator, I was like, okay, I started AI Operator running it on my own Notion, on my own workspace. And then as I started getting team members, I was like, oh, shit, I can't just, get them my workspace. I have to start an AI Operator workspace. And then I started an AI Operator workspace, and I never looked back. And then the AI feature is awesome, which I'm going to show you a ton today. And then now they have agents, even cooler. But the AI features they've evolved so well, and I think some really cool stuff that I'm going to show you that I love to do. So let's get into that. Let's just say hello to India. Hello to Barcelona, Adriana. Nice to see you. Right. Well, the quick question: do you currently use Notion for your business? Anyone that uses Notion for their business? Let us know. Let us know if you use it. All right. So I'm a very transparent person, so I'm just gonna in a second share my screen. But Notion is an all-in-one unique workspace. It's very unique because it can be a bit technical, it can be a bit scary in the beginning, but I think if you get into it, there's a building. Let's be honest. We were about to leave even Notion. When was it? A month ago, 2 months. I was like, oh, we're gonna leave to ClickUp because it was more planned and all that kind of stuff. And then I was about to go, and then I think it was the next morning. Notion launched Notion Agents. I was like, oh, well done, Notion. You've listened to me, and I'm not going. And then I realized that now with the AI, you can actually help it build a bunch of stuff, right? So hi to Giles as well. Hi to Adriana, hi to Anuj, hi to Andrea, of course, supporting the live stream. So it really has basic building blocks, right? And if you're a big Notion user, you're gonna find maybe the beginning of it a little bit basic, but don't think we're gonna stay in basic. If you know these sessions, if you know me, this is not going to stay basic, right? We're gonna get super hands-on very quickly, right? But I'll show you very quickly. And whatever you see here stays here, is like the Vegas rule, right? Whatever you see in our streams stays in our stream, right? Important. I mean, this is all public. It's fine. I don't think we have such secret stuff. We do have some stuff, but it's fine. All right. So we have Adriana uses Notion on personal projects and shared for projects. Okay. Darshan says he has 99% automation with Notion plus Zapier. I don't know. That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, amazing. All right. So I mean, the basics are there, but this is your home screen, right? So it has basic building blocks. Let's just build a quick page just to show you, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to build a quick page, right? So I'm going to click on create new page just to show you. Let's say, let's call this live session on Notion AI, right? Okay. So it's a blank page, but what I really love about this blank page is you just do your / and here we go, right? This is where the magic starts, right? So you have so much headings and different blocks, right, as they would call it. And now you have this Notion AI, which we're gonna dive deeper into in a second. You have all your media stuff, images, this, that, but it gets really crazy. You can put Loom videos, you can put Figma files, design files, and it's endless. Right, it's endless. But their biggest thing, like when I got really hooked on it, was this database stuff, right? So you can create one database somewhere in your Notion, and then you could keep creating views of that database in different pages, right? With different filters, with different things, right? So imagine it's like almost like an SQL database if you're a bit technical, or imagine is like a spreadsheet, right? That is the core, and then you're doing different views of that database in different ways of showing as well, by the way, right? With different filters, different sorting, and now with different accesses even. And so that means that you can build these massive databases that are the core of your workspace, and then you can refer to those databases in different places, right? So I think that was the biggest thing. If you go database, you have table view, board view, gallery view, list view, feed view, calendar view, timeline view, map view, vertical bar. It's so much, right? Now it's getting too much. Okay, not too much, but it's never too much, right? But very cool. Okay, so that was the biggest thing was the blocks, right? So the pages, the database, we started the page, and also another thing was you could start a page inside a page, and then you can even this is endless, right? So you could do another page. Right, this gets a bit endless, right? You can just keep, as you can see, even more, right? And then I can go another page, right? And this starts getting a little bit scary because you could go on and on and on and on like this, right? But that's not why we're here, okay? But that's a really cool thing, right? Because here we go. This is our main page that we started, and then I'm going deeper and deeper into it. So what I could do is, maybe I'll show you something. Andrea, can I show them our content calendar? Yeah, and maybe that teases them up for what's coming next, right? I think our content calendar is really cool, right? So I'll show you our actual company content calendar, right? So I'll show you the live session view. Yeah, perfect, right? So the live session view, so here it's like a Kanban board. It's a board view, right? I think that this should be before. No, I think That's clean. We have an idea box. We have a schedule. So I think that next week we're doing AI connectors and why you need them, right, on the 17th. And and then today is live session Notion AI, as you can see. And inside, we have our agenda for today and our post, our images, you can see, and we're hanging out here. Everything is tagged, which platform, what's the profile, what are the topics. This is AI, by the way, so AI decides on the topics and tags them automatically. Content goal also is AI. All right, we have a button. You can do many, 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 many things, right? And our, as you can see, if I kind of tease very quickly without showing too much, if I come in here, great, I don't have to show too much. If I come in here, LinkedIn posts, long form videos, short videos, blog articles, newsletters, live sessions, byline articles, we do so much, as you can see. So well done, team, right? We do so much, testimonials and so on. And then when we come here, we can just open up that section if you want to look at them. If we're going to look at live sessions again, what we're drafting and so on. But we can also, of course, have different views. And as you can see, my team members has their different views. Andrea has a view, Becky has, Anuj has. There's a newsletter view. There's a Tim YouTube view. There's all of these different views that you can also kind of default yourself to. I can show Andrea's view. She allowed us, so that, which is good. She wants to see it as a little table, right? She doesn't want to see it as a board, because then she's like, okay, this is what I'm working on. She potentially has her own filters. Here you go. She has a filter, which is not published and not canceled. And then she has a signy Andrea. That's her own view, right? And she saved that. Okay. And actually, she could even not save the filters and have the view still for herself. But this is also very acceptable that everybody has their own saved kind of view, right? So this is awesome. Why? Because the whole thing actually lives under here, which there's hundreds of pieces. If I also think about the things that were archived, approved, and published, and so on, right? We have hundreds, and maybe close to 1,000 now, right, of different pieces of information. And before, this was a bit maybe overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, there's so much in there, right? But now we have this little AI thing, and that really makes it even cooler. So I'll tap into that in a second. So this is really, I think, where Notion was very strong, right? These databases. Okay, so if I go back to my home view, let's just go back to my home view quickly. All right. So my home view, right? So in my home view, I see the recently things. I see my upcoming events. So it's even connected to my calendar, because I have Notion calendar. It's connected, so I can see all the stuff happening. I can join my meetings from here. I have my own tasks, which I don't use really well. So you'll see some tasks that I haven't done, because I use AccuFlow for tasks. Hopefully my team uses this a bit better than I do. And then I have my pipeline, and I have a bunch of other stuff, right? And then what's cool is I get the inbox. I can see what my team is saying, where they're tagging me, where we get where should my attention go, and so fun stuff really. And then, as you can see, we have a bunch of different things. I have my own private space, as a founder. I have strategy, finance, things that maybe I don't want my team to be bothered about. And it's not that there's nothing private, but not to be bothered about, right? I want them to focus on their own areas. There are things that I share just with certain team members, like one-on-ones, right? I share my one-on-ones specific just with the team member, because it's private conversation between them and I. I don't want other people to see it, right? And then I have, of course, the team space, right? This is where everybody is, right? And this is where we'll have our goals. This is brand new. We just started a new quarter, right? So we'll have our pipeline and our deal pipeline and revenue and so on, which, better not to show, I guess, right? And this is quite fun, right? But here we go to this special thing. And in between, I'm going to say hi to also Kubi joined us, Ali Fouad joined us, Fufu. So hello, right? Awesome to have you all on board as well today in our live session about Notion AI, right? So we understand Notion, right? I think that Notion is great. I always had, since that COVID day, I had always a Notion private space, right? I always had everything on Notion myself. And then actually my wife and I had the space, right? So then we start sharing the space. So we could have our own private stuff. But then we also started, I think that's when our daughter was born, Camilla, or just before she was born, we decided that we should also create a family space, right? So we could track stuff and all that, which was really cool. And I always had, I was always clipping articles and bookmarking things and taking information, summarizing information, putting it on my space and so on in my own Notion space. And then I started AI Operator, and I was like, oh, okay, I need a private, like a company space, right? Actually, I still have my own space, I think, which I don't use whatsoever. It's on free plan now, as you can see. I put it back on the free plan because now it's the AI Operator space where we have 5 members, that I pay for everybody user, but I also pay extra for the AI. You have to pay extra for the AI, right? But this is what's really cool. It's the AI feature, right? And we're AI Operator, and I still always say to my team, we don't even use it enough. I think we should use it even more. But it's awesome. It's awesome, right? So how is it awesome? Let's just close it. So I come on Notion AI. You can see mine has a little character. So now this is Notion agents. So you can kind of make yours custom to you, okay? Custom to what you want to see. And you can edit the instructions. And the instruction is a whole page, which is awesome. So mine is a productivity coach. I give it some personality. I give them some notes, what to do. Its priorities is grow AI Operator, get famous on YouTube. So these are my priority: be present with my family, be the #1 AI transformation expert globally, if I'm not already. Right? Close, right? Maybe #2, be #1 soon. Sam might be the #1. Right? Enjoy what I do each day, right? These are my priorities, okay? And then I even have some rules, so how I want it to capture things, So if I say anything about the task on the AI, I want it to put it inside my task database, read, write, and so on. And then same things for notes. If I talk about something, I'm like, hey, take this as a note, then it can add all that into the notes section, right? Into my notes database, into my note page, right? And then if I had some other notes, I can put it here, right? So this is just a character that I'm giving to my AI. This is brand new, by the way. And for now, you can have one agent, which is your main agent, which is your main Notion AI. But they announced already that we're going to have multiple Notion AIs. And the vision of multiple Notion AIs is very cool. Why is it very cool? Because we're going to be able to do some really, really, really cool stuff. Right? The things that we're going to be able to do are things like, I definitely am going to have a sales agent, right? And my sales agent is going to automatically take the transcript from the sales call, add it if the CR in the CRM, because you can build a CRM inside your Notion. If the deal is not created, create the deal, put the details inside it. I'll have a YouTube one to assist me with my scripts. So when somebody puts an idea, boom, it creates the scripts for me. It tags me. It puts a date on when to record it. I record it, and then it can do some other job, like automatically, like, oh, Tim put this in recorded. If I put in recorded, what to do? Notify Anuj so he can start editing the video. Put a deadline and so on. These will be many, many, many different agents that I will build inside my Notion AI, with Notion AI, very soon. Right? And I know it's coming. It's coming very, very soon. So we'll be able to do that. Right? So I suggest, if you don't have a Notion space yet, play around with it, get the free version, play around with it, and then pay for it to get your Notion AI, even on your own, put all your notes, put your tasks, put your calendar, put everything in there, because it's the perfect time. And I think it's not even late, but it's almost kind of late. We're building a second brain, as they say, right? Our brains are not meant to store information. That's it. Our brains are not meant to store information. Our brains are meant to solve problems, right? And the promise of Notion and AI, and Notion with AI, and Notion AI, is even better because it's, don't worry, I have everything under control. I have all your databases. I have all your information, and I have access to many other of your tools. You just do the best thing you can do, right? Which is chat to people, solve problems, do live sessions, right? All that kind of stuff. And then the rest should be handled from AI, right? AI should do that, right? We should do it with AI, actually. Not AI should not just do it on its own, but we should do it with AI. So this is the best example of it here, right? So let's say that, it's this weekend I need to do some YouTube videos, right? I've been a bit, as you can hear, a bit sick, so I couldn't do my YouTube videos, and so Anuj gets upset because his goal is to edit videos and publish videos on my YouTube, but I have to record them, right? If you're not on my YouTube, make sure to go on my YouTube, Thank you very much. Yeah, Tim's YouTube channel, Tim Cakir. Yeah, Tim Cakir, Tim, whatever you want to call it. Right. So go and follow me on YouTube. Right. Because I do all of this stuff there as well. And very soon we're going to have access to our community. Stay tuned for that. For that, make sure to sign up to our newsletter. Make sure to go on YouTube. You'll hear it everywhere. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow AI Operator on LinkedIn. So much you can do, to make sure that you're tuned to all the information that we're going to come up. The end of the year is going to be a big one for us. 2026, we're going to start something magic, right? As we do all the time, right? So here, let's say I need to do some YouTube videos, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some context. You don't even have to, right? But I just want to target it. I'm going to talk to this AI, but I'm going to target it automatically to my content calendar, right? Because I know that the stuff that I want is there, right? And I'm going to prompt it like usually, Find great YouTube ideas that I can record this weekend. Simple, right? Very simple, okay? And I'm just going to launch that, right? And I'll show you a couple other things in a second, right? About different accesses of Notion, right? Which is really cool. So I directed it on the context of just my content calendar, right? So here we go, right? So it's going there. Here are some of my ideas tailored to your goals that you can record this weekend. Rapid fire video title with strong hooks. Okay, awesome. Because I know that some Anush has put some, I think, ideas in there, right? So I'm getting some of my ideas from there. Weekend ready outlines with beats. All right, that's cool. Your AI first employee in 60 minutes. 60 minutes. That's a long one. That's fun. 5 automations that added 10 hours back to my week. From chaos to clarity, my Notion X AI operated workspace. Well done, right? And so on, right? Shorts that we can do, production notes, and then I can kind of go and I can say something like, create an outline. I think I really like one of them. Which one was it? This one, maybe. Let's do, yeah, this is a good one. All right, you could just say create an outline for for what was it called? Your first AI employee in 60 minutes, right? And look what I'm going to do now. Make sure to use, I have this viral, you see, I have a template for YouTube viral scripts, right? And as you saw, I just went at, and I know that it's called something viral. So boom, that page comes out, and I just tag that, right? Because it's going to use now, it's going to use that exact template, that exact way of doing things. And here we go. We're context engineering, baby, right? So this is the idea of context engineering and not just prompt engineering. And this is what I'm telling to all my clients, which, Google, Recharge, Atlantica, like some big clients as well, and I'm telling them it's not about prompt engineering anymore, because these machines, these large language models, understand us quite easily now, right? You don't have to have these complex prompts and so on, and, be very like crazy specific and so on, because you can be crazy specific with context engineering. So how do you prepare for this world, for this new world that we're living in? And it's also still coming, right? And it's going to keep coming, and it's perma change. It's scary for some, but again, when scary for some, I go love, not fear, baby, right? So don't fear AI, love AI, because you'll have a great time together, right? If you fear it, you're going to clash. And you don't want to clash with AI. I guarantee you that, right? So the cool thing is context engineering. It's preparing right now your templates, your brand guidelines. How do you do your emails? What type of emails do you want to answer, and how? How do you do your proposals? What are your services? What are you selling? What's the value? What's the ideal customer profile, right? All these things that we always said, yeah, it's great to have. And, they were just documents. They were hidden in Google Docs. We would create them and we almost never visit them again. Or we did sometimes when it was a meeting, or when we didn't achieve our quarterly goals, or we didn't achieve the yearly goal. And we're like, oh shit, what did we do wrong? Let's check our ideal customer profile and our messaging again, right? Now you can use them every day, because you can ask for a video outline, get that template. I can ask for a sales message and tag my ICP document, right? And then give context. I'm giving context to the large language model. I'm giving context to the AI, right? So then the AI is very specific, right? And the idea is specify the AI because it's a large language model. It has so much. It knows a lot, right? But when it knows a lot, it's shit because you don't need a lot. You need it to do an X job, right? You need to do this job that you're looking for, and then you're like, oh yeah, can you help me do this? And it's like, wow, I have so much. I don't know how to exactly do that. Let me see. There's a ton of things. But if you say, hey, this is what I want you to do. Here's my context. Here's some documents. Here's my ICP. Here's the services we sell. Go do that proposal, right? AI goes, wow, so much context. It just takes all that and then it just directs its energy, its compute, its energy, its compute to that specific area, to that specific goal with that context. Yeah, do I make sense? Because that's where I'm trying to make sure, not trying, I'm doing it by training everybody to prepare their spaces, prepare their docs, prepare their knowledge, right? Don't just keep it here and say, oh yeah, I know how to do that process. But great. If you know how to do that process, but you can't document it and you don't have a document, AI is not going to do it for you. But if you have a document and you have a process step by step on how you do that, there's a 99.9% chance we can automate that for you. Or you could automate that for yourself if you want, right? But we definitely can, right? We have a great automation expert called Kubi Rich. Follow him on LinkedIn if you want more automation content, right? And soon in our community, more to come, right? So imagine that, right? So I gave it this exact script, right? So by giving the exact script, here you go, all right? Your first AI employee in 60 minutes, script outline using YouTube Viral script template for Tim Cakir. So my specific script has been used, right? Which is awesome, right? And boom, I have the hook. I have who it's for. I have my credibility. I'm Tim, founder of AI Operator. We deploy AI workflow that save team 10 plus hours a week, maybe even more now. And as you can see, I get exactly the script that I need, right? The outline that I need, and then I have the script that I need to copy and paste, right? So boom, I can kind of copy and paste this into my teleprompter, and then I can riff off of it, right? Okay, so that was a very simple context engineering, right? Simple context engineering. Let's try something else. Let's go back to our prod coach, right? So my AI is called prod coach, right? Productivity coach. And let me show you a bit about the sources, right? So Notion AI, like ChatGPT and like Claude and like Gemini, they're all getting connectors. They're all getting sources of information, not just from the large language model, because it'd be boring. This is what we had till the beginning of this year or mid this year. If you haven't watched my connectors, ChatGPT connectors video on YouTube, do it, because it's one of my most famous, I think, maybe the most famous video at the moment, still ranking crazy, right? Because this is where we're starting to get really power of AI, right? Is by giving it our own context, our own spaces, right? Here, we have our own space, of course, the Notion, but we have Slack, where my team and I chat. We have my Gmail, where I do my emails. We have our Google Drive, where we store contracts and proposals and certain things, right? Even if we use Notion. I can connect some other apps. If I click on here, there's GitHub, Linear, SharePoint, some other apps that I can connect. Some new ones are coming, right? This was the personalization of the AI, right? And now you can even take meeting notes inside the transcript, which is really cool. And you can direct this. So I'm allowing, now maybe I'll say, just look at my Slack, right? I can say, look at my Gmail, right? Okay, I can kind of direct that information to just look at my Gmail, right? Okay, or I can also do web search, right? So let's say that I turn off my Gmail, or all sources you can access, right? So this is all sources. So now I can access all my sources. Okay. Thank you, Ilya. Nice one. All right. So basically, I give all sources I can access. Okay. And I need to be careful because we don't know what's going to come out of this, but let's see what happens, right? So it has a bunch of sources. I can do a deep research, meaning that it's going to go through many sources for a long time. This might take a long time, right? This is the same as ChatGPT Deep Research. If you haven't tried it, please do try it. It's one of the best things about ChatGPT at the moment. Gemini has it as well. Claude has it. Every almost AI tool has now deep research. Notion has deep research, but imagine you can deep research into your own things and into your own Notion space, which is really cool. Okay, you have this auto, which you can choose your large language models that you want to use, which is really cool because you don't have to have accesses to these, right? You don't have to go pay for Claude. You don't have to go pay for Gemini if you don't have it. You don't have to go pay for ChatGPT if you don't have it. You could just be paying for Notion, and you have access to all these large language models. So you can even decide. You can leave it on auto, so it decides which models to use best, right? And let me see if I can direct it to something kind of okay, right? Let's try to do something. Let's do something about okay, yeah. So haha, yeah. Search on Slack and let me know where we are with the newest lead magnet we are about to launch. All right, let's see if we can get some information. Right? So we're creating a new lead magnet for marketing, right? And I'm the founder, and it's Friday. It's 3:33 Turkish time, right? TRT, and and I'm about to go off for the weekend, right? Hopefully gonna go swim, even if I'm a bit sick, but it's nice, right? And I'm like, okay, where are we at with this thing, right? Okay, and I just asked that question. I had 156 results, so it looked at things that I'm talking with Kubi, with Andrea. It looked at a bunch of messages, right? It looked at Slack because I said lots of Slack. It looked a little bit on Notion, right? It looked at some of our Notion projects and stuff. It looked on the web, which I don't think we needed the web one there. It looked a little bit on my Google Drive, see if there is anything there. All right, it checked all the stuff. Let's close that. And then it answered. Now, here's what I found. The current plan is to use many tools as lead magnets, AI security, AI readiness assessment, AI governance creator, and an ROI calculator. These are slated for LinkedIn promotion and website placement. Yeah, that's correct. Ownership and next step. Andrea is driving a predictable growth engine to generate SQLs. That's our Q4 goals. Could be supporting by building AI operator mini tools that convert. Yes, and adding analytics to track users. This should be live on the website and potentially surface in Circle. Circle is where we are launching our new community. And as you can see, what I love, this information even came from Google Drive, right? Because we take Gemini notes when we're on Google Meets. We take Gemini notes, and then it found this on Notion from Q4 tasks. It found this from Gemini. It found this for Gemini. This is for somebody else, right? That we talked about lead magnets. And then I could kind of say, I know that we're working on the AI governance creator. Where are we on the AI governance and security lead magnet? Lead magnet. Right? Okay, so now I'm getting even more specific, right? I'm again asking like an update, right? But imagine it's my assistant, right? It's my chief of staff, or it's my executive assistant, right? Imagine you do this. Imagine you do this before AI, right? Imagine you would ask this question before AI. What would you do? You would send an email. You'd ask your executive assistant. You'd go on Slack. You'd hope that somebody's going to respond. Maybe you'd call a meeting, right? Which is the worst one to do. It's like, hey, let me have a meeting about this, right? And it's just for an update, right? And then boom, what did I do? I just asked for the question, right? To my Notion AI. Here we go. Here's the step. In scope for Q4 as one of the million AI security AI growth created to be promoted on LinkedIn embedded. Yep. Owners and roles. Andrea is driving the growth. Blah blah blah. Assets already drafted. Oh, okay. It found the asset. There we go. Look at that. It's gone to my drive. It's also found the already existing files, right? Which is the governance blueprint, right? They define the safe AI stack. They find the risk zone map, right? And it found a bunch of other stuff. Q4 planning again. It's telling me what we're doing. What's missing to launch? Packaging as a self-serve mini tool and publishing a landing page with clear CT analytics. I didn't find a live URL or published status yet, so it appears not launched. It is not launched. We're about to launch it. So this is why follow us. Follow AI Operator on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the free newsletter. Come to these sessions. We have so much free stuff coming, guys. Our one and only mission is to help you, adopt AI, use AI. Like, not don't use AI. I think I need to remove the word use AI, because it's not use AI. Work with AI. I want you to work with AI to do magic together, right? And then you can remove the boring and the repetitive, and you can reduce and remove it, so you focus on what you do best. Okay, this is my biggest mission in life right now, right? Okay, it's for all of you, right? So, oh, here we go. My newsletter is there. Scan the QR code if you're not on my newsletter yet, right? Make sure to scan that QR code. Take your phone out. Simple. Take your phone out. Take the camera app. And just scan it, right? Okay, nothing else. Just scan it. Simple stuff, right? Cool. And as you can see right away, want me to move this forward? I can ping Andrea a 5-minute questionnaire. I put it to generator. That's awesome. I can even say, can you now give me an outline? Give me an outline for a landing page for this lead magnet. All right. So now I asked it to give me an outline for a landing page. It has enough context. It's going to go and create, it's going to check more information. There we go. Here we go. All right. Boom. I get an outline. Let me see the outline. Get your AI going on security blueprint in minutes, free interactive assessment. It knows GDPR. Yes, it knows exactly what's inside it because it's looked at the information. All right. This is awesome. This is awesome. I could even say now, can you enrich this info with the actual lead magnet content that we have on the Google Drive, under AI safety folder or something like that, right? So now I'm even like, okay, well, great outline. I want you to enrich it a little bit more, right? I know where the information is. I don't have to go to the information. I can send it to the information. Here we go. All right, boom, right? Guys, this used to take teams days, weeks sometimes to do these type of things, right? Do you realize, I don't know if you realize what world we're living in. Like, it's ridiculous, right? I can also create you the website in like a couple of minutes, right? People get shocked when I do these things. I don't want to shock you too much. It's Friday. I want you to have a great weekend. I don't want you to be like, shit, what just happened, right? We can do that as well. So here we go. That's much better because it knows now. It took it from, as you can see, the safeaistack.md. MD is a markdown file. This is a text file. GDPR, DPA ready, zero data retention, SOC 2 pathways, admin audit trails, all the things we're talking about, the risk zone, the safe AI stack again, right? It's referring to a lot of the files, which is great because that's how it's making it much more specific. Right? And I hope my team is also watching this while we're here. I think they're here because we don't even use this enough, guys. And this is why I love doing these sessions. This is awesome, right? The more we use it like that, the more we can save time. And even one of our biggest Q4 goal is to be even more AI first. Like, we are AI operator. We train people on being AI first. I mean, I think if others saw us, yes, we're very AI first. But because I am obsessed about AI, and I guess I'm at the forefront of it, I always think we can do more with AI. And yes, we can always do more with AI, and we are always doing more with AI every day. And this is the exact example of doing more with AI. Right? Here we go. I mean, this is perfect. This is great. You like this draft? Maybe Andrea is not gonna like this because it's not gonna be the exact thing we were doing, Andrea. But I'm gonna get out of the agenda a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna get a tiny bit out of the agenda if you don't mind, guys, because why not, right? Why not? This is where things are cool, right? I like to get out of the agenda a little bit. Yeah. All right. So because it came to my mind, I was like, oh, okay, right. So I got that outline. I got that website outline, right? Oh, by the way, great one here. Let's show that here. Kubi, feel free to send me your questions about automation, he says, right? So you can reach out to him on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to him on kubi@aioperator.com. And again, get ready. We're going to launch a community that is going to be like the bomb, right? There's a lot of crappy communities, right? There's some really good communities coming, right? Because we're doing an AI operator first community. So basically, we're only getting our certified people first. They'll be our enterprise level. Then we'll have some kind of paid subscription to become an AI operator, to get certified on your own without your company. Yeah, I'm watching you guys, the ones that are not working with us because you don't have 50 people, because we work with 50 plus people in companies. So we're gonna start something for self-serve kind of thing, right? And then we'll even have a free kind of plan as well, where we're gonna give a lot, like we're doing on our live sessions. Let know your friends, please. The one favor you can do for me is invite others. Invite others, share with others. Promote it, amplify it for us, right? We're always gonna give free stuff. Don't worry. So I take that outline. I took that outline. I'm just gonna remove the next step here. I took that outline that I got from Notion, right? And I just put it on Bolt. Bolt.new. It's like a AI website builder, AI product builder, vibe coder. Which I'm really into Replit. I'm into Cloud Code and many things. But the last few days I've been playing a lot with Bolt because they have Bolt V2, and it's really good. It's really good. I'm about to launch a page for our lead magnet, and this is exactly what I wanted to show you, like redoing kind of that, right? And as you can see, it's even wants to read those files, those docs files. I don't think it's going to be able to because it doesn't have access. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. Okay, so it's creating. Okay, so it's reading its own code already, right? So here we go. So code. All right, we'll come back to this in a second, right? Just to show you that in a minute we will have a website. All right. It's crazy stuff, right? This is crazy stuff. I'm doing potentially the job of like, what, 4 or 5 team members. That is going to take them, what, a week? I remember. I mean, that's maybe, were we slow? I don't think so. I think we were also even a fast team, right? We were even a fast team. Imagine that, right? Imagine that you're a slow team, when you don't have AI. I remember, years ago, I mean, I worked with Andrea before. I had the marketing, and we were at the Cards Guru, and we had a marketing team of 7 people, and then we'd have an idea for a campaign, right? So it's going to have a landing page, it's going to have some copy, it's going to have a blog, it's going to have an email, it's going to have that. How long would it take us? 2 weeks, right? It takes 2 weeks to launch. Now, I'd say give me 2 hours on my own. Crazy stuff. 2 weeks becomes 2 hours on your own. I mean, it's hard to grasp for a lot of us. And this is why I'm doing a bit more serious face now. It's very difficult to grasp for some of us. But the work that we were doing 7 people for 2 weeks can be done now by one person. Can be done by one person. I should have even kind of stop the screen share for this. Right? The 2 hours to 2 weeks, 7 people work can now be done 2 hours with one person. This is literally the world we're living in now. And it's only October 10th, 2025. And we only got Agent Kit from OpenAI on Monday. Crazy things. We got Apps SDK from OpenAI. If you're not following me, follow me. Crazy shit are coming, right? Crazy shit are already here. But it's up to you how you want to adopt, right? And it's your jobs. I can give you lots of free content. I can push you and so on. But you got to be curious. You got to come and get these content. You got to try what we show you, because if you try what we show you, what I show you and what I preach, I guarantee you that you'll be the top one in your career, in your industry, and so on. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee, right? But that's up to you, right? Even if I coach, right? So cool stuff, right? Let's just get very quickly back to what we were building. So I put that outline, and then I said, build this. I didn't even say anything. I just put that outline of that website, right? Here we go. Website ready. Get your AI governance and security blueprint in minutes. Right? Oh, wow. This is nice. How it works. Inside the pack for who. This is really cool. Look at that. Interactive assessment. It even built an interactive assessment. 12 questions across 6 critical. This is crazy stuff, man. This is crazy stuff. You'd give this to developers and then tell you, in a couple of weeks, oh, here's a draft, and then another week of feedback and so on. You get to this in months, maybe even. Maybe you could get the landing page quickly if you had if you had things like HubSpot to lead HubSpot landing pages or things like that, right? Maybe these are not created. You can tell it to create. But look, I'll do something quickly because we're here. And you're gonna be, oh yeah, but the design is not nice, right? Didn't nobody said that yet? Maybe you said it inside there. It's not that it's not nice. It's not branded, right? And a lot of people say, yeah, but there's not my branding, And it's like, how do I get it on my branding? It's my fault. In the beginning, I should have done this. Watch. All right. So now I'm just going to get our logos. All right. And then I'm going to put our colors. All right. All right. So these are our colors. I have a little hack for this. Kubi did a really good LinkedIn post about this, right? Did I do the white? And now that was the white. Kubi did a really good post about this a while ago, which was how he uses Raycast for having these shortcuts, right? And then here we go. I say, here's our branding. Here's our branding. Do it properly, right? Something like that, right? And then I send it, and I'll check some of the chats because I see some chats. And the best is trading with AI, interesting. And the best is trading with AI, interesting. Interested? Okay. So Giles wants to trade with AI. I guess setting we go better than alternative. I guess setting some AI trading with AI. Cool. Maybe promotional. I don't know. Maybe FCCA. Okay. Cool. Trading with AI, interested. Yeah, trading with AI. Always. We're both better than alternatives in your view. Manus Claude. Manus very separate, Claude very separate, Bolt very different. They're all different stuff. Bolt, I would compare Bolt to Replit, to Lovable. I wouldn't compare it to Claude or Manus, not at all. Manus is an agent, is agentic. Claude is a large language model. It's a tool for large language models. It's like ChatGPT. Claude and ChatGPT is comparable. Manus is comparable to AgentKit from OpenAI, the new thing. Bolt is Replit. Bold, Lovable, they're in the same category, very different things, right? So that's how I would compare them, right? Cool. So in about a minute time, I'm sure I'll come back here and then this will be done, right? So let's go back to our Notion to kind of start finalizing our live session for today while this is doing the job, and then we'll check it and see if we've got a better branding. Not better branding, but we got our actual branding. I should have done it from scratch, right? But that's fine. So let's get back here, right? So Notion AI, has all the context if you want, but you can also specify the context if you want to, right? You can choose the pages you want to direct it even more, to context engineer it even more. You can attach some different files as well, right? Some different things, new things. You have different sources, right? I have access to all my sources, and you can do a bunch of stuff, right? So, one final thing that I'll do potentially is I'll say something like this. It's end of week 1 for Q4 for us. Can you tell me what I should prioritize and work on next week? All right, boom. All right, cool. I'll send that out, right? And it's going to check, and there's a very big chance that it's going to check with my Gmail, my Google Calendar, and so on. It's going to tell me where should I prioritize my week, right? And I do this with Claude as well. I do this with a bunch of stuff, right? But this is cool. As you can see, here we go. It's found the revenue sprint, the CTAs we have to change in YouTube to book a call. I have 2 partners that I need to close. OS documentation push because we want to hire an EA, TA, a community manager, if anyway, and a salesperson, right? Circle guide activation, we're doing our Confirm Friday Circle sync agenda, right? YouTube engine unblock with Anuj, right? Next 3 topics and hooks. Immediate push mode cleanups, right? Publish the Q4 dashboard, embed the Slack canvas, and confirm the 3 support buddy slots on your calendar. Wow, I haven't done that yet, so thank you very much for letting me know. And here we go. I got a simple plan by day next week, right? We have an L10. I should have a sales block, an OS block. A Tuesday I should do this. Wednesday I should do that. Thursday I should do that. Friday I should do that. And it knows because it has access to my calendar. It knows my free times and which days I can do more and less and so on. And then it's giving me my whole goals. Job done, right? Almost job done, right? And now it's just you get the job. Oh, okay, I have to do this. And by the way, if I said, okay, let's do this, right? I can tell it to do this and help me get this done, and then it's going to find the document. It's going to write as well, right? So I can even ask it, can you write a new report that I can publish for my team today, right? So I'm going to ask it to write a new report that I can publish for my team today, right? It's prepared, it's viewed my notes, great, right? Let's see what it's going to do. I'm curious. It's organizing the weekly report, perfect. It's creating pages, really cool, right? It's going to do the job, right? And in a second, I'll show you I think the website is done in the back end, by the way. Come on, go. Created Q4 week 1 report. All right, awesome. Let's just open that. Here we go. It tells me what it's at. It's a page. Boom, I click on it. As you can see, Notion AI now is on the right. And here we go. Wins this week, numbers, snapshots, what we learned, priorities for next week, owner check-ins. Right, ask for Tim, right? Team updates before EOD today, shout outs, right? For pushing the YouTube engine, Andrea for Q4 planning, QB, Becky for steady featured momentum and news. Well done. Here we go. This is awesome. Here's my report, right? If you do your job really well in one platform, or you have a platform that can connect to all these things, that connectors, you can do this kind of thing on ChatGPT as well, right? If you have your connectors, and you can say, hey, check out my whole Gmail, check out my whole Google Calendar, my Drive, and my Notion, and give me a report for this Friday, right? Imagine years ago, again, reporting on a Friday was painful and nobody wanted to do it. How can you not want to do it now? It's so easy, all right? Miss you guys in Barcelona, us as well, Adriana. Come visit Bodrum. Thank you very much. We're closing in a minute as well. And I just want to show the website that is built. And is it on brand? Yes, it's getting on brand, right? It's missing a little bit of the color schemes and stuff like that, because the dark and the light is then a little bit weird. It does happen. And let me see. Hold on. Here we go. Right, so it's done that bad. So you could ask it to fix that. But here we go. We got our colors. Wow, this is nice, right? We got our colors everywhere, right? We have our branding. It's done a little bit bad on the dark light. You can say it, you used the dark logo on dark background. Don't do that, right? And it's going to fix that in a second, right? And that's really cool. And guys, I think we have our next lead magnet website page ready, right? Almost. I work on it another hour max, and have it ready, right? And imagine it could be weeks of work. I actually, just to show you, I did this last night. So let this work. Can I just go back to another project here? I'm very new to Bolt. I like Bolt. And I think somebody had asked a great question about Bolt. Why Bolt? Because Bolt apparently is who was saying that? Somebody said that it's 80% more chance to accomplish your task than Replit and Lovable, right? And I've been using Replit and Lovable for a really long time, right? And I was like, okay, let me try something else, So let's see if I can just leave. How do you get to your project? So it's here. This is yesterday. Here we go. So I had our lead magnet already designed, like the whole content was on GitHub. And then I said, check that GitHub repo and build a website for it. Right? That's the only thing I almost said. There's maybe 3 prompts. And then I said, oh, here's our logos again. I don't like the gradient. But look at that. That's the free starter pack is ready. You can download it. It's all ready. Numbers are correct. Real world warnings. Everything that I have on my lead magnet is here, right? Unlock to download, right? And it's very cool because, download the free starter pack. Bam! You get a full name, work email. You get the whole form that goes on the database. You got my LinkedIn profile. You get the whole thing, the business case for AI governance, a comparison, FAQ. Get the starter pack already, baby, right? Like this was yesterday. This took me 30 minutes. It was one prompt, second prompt, third prompt. I'm still annoyed at the gradient. I'll have to fix the gradient. I'll say I don't like this gradient. It's using a dark and a white, and I think it shouldn't use that gradient. But that's a very small thing, right? And yeah, it's all working. It's all working perfectly fine. Get free pack. Boom. Book your audit. Wow. Okay. So the link, I didn't give it a link, so it kind of made up its own calendar link. So I'd have to give it a link and say, can you fix that link? That's about it, right? That's really cool. That's really cool, guys. Awesome. Yeah, it's Nick. It seems much better than Replit at the moment. This is my first try last night and today, and it just gets to things much quicker. I'm not sure on the vibe coding application side, but on the website with forms and lead magnet stuff, I wanted to test it because I know Replit, it would take me, it'd take me an hour, to get there. And with this, I think in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it just kind of did the job, right? And they have this new V2 agentic. And I saw the comparison and it was like, I think Replit was a little bit ahead of Lovable. Lovable was at 20% completion rate, 1820. I think Replit was around 35 or so, and this was about 80% success rate from the first prompt to the end result. Right, that was the thing that I checked. Right, that's how I got to this. Anyways, we're right here for Notion AI. Let's finish with Notion AI. Right, you saw it. Right, so if you're not on Notion yet, it's very cool. I suggest it. We have no affiliation whatsoever. But I love it, and we're gonna do more on Notion AI. This little thing, this little body, is gonna get even more powerful. We're gonna have a bunch of these, and I think it's gonna get really, 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 really cool. So I suggest that. In the meantime, let's stop our screen share. And next week, is it next week? Yes, we have AI Connectors 101. Turn your LLM, large language model, into a business powerhouse. Right? So I love ChatGPT with connectors. I love Claude with connectors. It's not saying which ones we're going to use, right? So Notion has connectors. They all have connectors. So we could do a mix of a bunch of them with connectors. And I can show you some magic of how to use connectors, MCPs, model context protocols, with your large language model to get the job done in your business in minutes. In minutes, like literally minutes, you can do some amazing stuff, right? So amazing. Yeah. Cool stuff. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thanks for coming. Happy Friday, everybody. Scan the QR codes, go on our LinkedIn, please follow our events, and see you on the next one. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really fun. Thank you.